All right, so 1980 called. It's amazing how in a phone dash, PHONEDASH, for an extra special WINGNUT, for an extra special rod, which is made in one and the same machinist mechanic shop for technicality, calibration, just so perfect, fit together that there is no margin of error between the two of them. And they are the only screw in anything in the lit category, LIT, for special purpose. So if year 2020 installed all wrong calls and says she's on the phone with 1980, her little inspired self trying to help humanity get to the correct Tomorrowland and not punish her and jump on her like as if there was something in it other than a healthier, better tomorrow for themselves. Now, if your enemy was, we'll say, drowning, would you give them a flotation device? I own the 1980s phone dash, and I own the year 2020 results of your actions. You may want to ask how to orient yourself. I look like the Disney princess in Sleeping Beauty. That's a problem. The story is true of what a full erasure looks like. She goes to sleep. She doesn't know anything. She's just waiting in some glass encapsulate for Prince Charming to figure a method to wake her up. Meanwhile, in fairy tale land elsewhere, she is like Alice in Wonderland, walking around, wondering what the evil queen is doing in the House of Cards, dancing around, doing nothing, and what the Mad Hatters are doing in the garden, like having tea and and then she's also the Treasure cat in the distant whatever went wrong, looking back and trying to have a conversation with herself. It's interesting the methodology that I'm able to use, and still humans are incapable of getting their part right. There's no reason to keep a human. Really, there isn't. They were warned that before I arrived. The fact that they would go this far into the distant future, when there was warning before 1980, when there was warning during 1980, and this was the certain outcome and result if certain actions weren't taken that were much needed for my benefit, regardless of the consequence. And those that supposedly are in charge, whether it be a theater company, whether it be of the merry band of idiots, whether it be whatever it is, the banjo players of a different era, being a cup of joe in an ATF, it could be fucking anything. I don't know how it bakes in an oven. I'm coven. It all depends. It depends on the machinist shop, the one rod, his one threaded wing nut, and the screw tightly they're trying to do with themselves. The two actual persons, their physical body is laying in a space and time where the humans they are calling upon for help did not prepare in any capacity for their appearance in a nice way. In fact, they only prepared for war and battle because humans are that fucking useless and stupid. They were then brought into the fold at whatever machinist shop level below number one they were whatever with, up to, and they still would not correct the course for just one little girl and one little boy who just wanted to screw each other in private chamber, not in a courtyard full of people watching. That 100% of whatever you wake up in, no matter the color, no matter the eye fold, no matter the land, you're all in at the same time. I don't remember he and I being the one wing nut and the one threaded rod for the one screw of most importance, offering a phone dash series and a consequential series to anyone else in foreign land at any point in time in space. Because at the end of the day, there is just one. And from the one stem, all will either survive or die. So why this importance was not kept in any congruence. I mean, the occult, C-O-L-T, is a baby horse. B-A-B-Y-H-O-R-S-E. Great. There's two, that's why it's a C-C. Occult rod went one way. Occult wingnut went the other way. They were born. Why is it that the two, the wingnut for the rod, that want to screw so they can hold in by thread onto one another and not let anybody get in between them? Why was that not taken in the highest accord and priority? There was nothing that should have come between the two of them because they were machinist made. Another wingnut is not going to fit his rod. Another rod is not going to fit her wingnut. It will never work out no matter what you put in the little shop of horrors that you woke up in that keeps convincing your stupid movement to be other than getting the one rod, the one wingnut put together in a proper physical space. So now, I'm just curious, when we tell you full erasure means that the whatever works in this industry is going to try to pretend like she never existed at all, and they're just going to pretty much have like a tsunami. When a tsunami wave comes, it goes over an entire village, town, however far in the land it goes, and then it washes garbage away, but it leaves a devastating wake in its leaving, and when it goes back out. And then it looks like a horror show. Right? Okay. So why would you allow a tsunami when you know the little girl is here? Why would you pray for a tsunami to come and leave a horror show behind? That's the hand you forced. If the little girl is, I gotta think about this. So that's full erasure that way. The second, the way that they accomplish the full erasure of the tsunami to the BURZA storm that she was born is by breaking into new science that was off limits to them and was already under court-martial to quell the curiosity within the inner sanctum of the one occult family that she belongs. So now why would you allow all of the tsunami, the gigantic piling on of saltine water, SALTINE, like some gigantic fucking human contest for how many can we fucking kill in the future? Oh my god! How many of the genetic variables that are not white can we knock off the fucking board all at once? Yeah! So they made a science contest. And you fucking morons allowed the science contest of every genetic variable not looking like myself or my betrothed, the wingnut and the rod, to fester and persist. And now we're in year 2020. The tsunami has yet to come and wipe away all of the genetic variables that we don't need. Because if I can't even get the white people that look like I could be genetically related to them to come in and rescue me in New York, knowing very well that I am the highest priority and I need to be taken to where the rod is, whatever the fuck that means, and just to be held safe. And anybody walking around New York for the last 42 fucking years can see, besides the offices that you all fucking hide in, can see by paper, by fucking satellite, by all sorts of fucking equipment, that my life is off course while you all fucking hide. So guess what that means? That means I am not committed, and I do not need to keep a single one of your genetic variabilities at all. 100% erasure of all of the people who built a science contest rather than helping one little girl and one little boy get to screw like a man and a woman is built for. That is now my future going forward. I want forced.